In the depths of the Pacific Rim universe, deep beneath the ocean's surface, there lay a mysterious portal that led to a hidden world unknown to humans. Inside this portal, a giant female alien kaiju named Otachi sat curled up, feeling depressed and anxious. Her retractable wings were closed, her clawed arms crossed, and her prehensile tail wrapped tightly around her body. Her husband, Leatherback, a male alien kaiju, floated towards her and gently placed a hand on her shoulder. "Just relax, my love," he said softly. "You are going to be okay." Otachi's voice trembled as she spoke of the struggles she had faced, feeling tragically broken and lost. Their friends, other giant alien kaijus named Trespasser, Raiju, Anababa, Scunner, and Knifehead, all gathered around Otachi, concerned for her well-being. One of them suggested that she seek therapy to help calm her mind and talk through her problems. The scene shifted to a bizarre underwater location where Otachi sat across from a therapist named SCP-682. Through their discussions, Otachi began to accept the advice and guidance given to her by the therapist, finding some relief in sharing her struggles and fears. As the day turned to night, Otachi and Leatherback retired to a closed-off area to rest. But as Otachi drifted off to sleep, she was haunted by a terrifying nightmare. In her dream, she found herself tied up by a giant rope on the ocean floor, facing an evolved pink Godzilla from a different universe. The pink Godzilla spoke to Otachi, revealing that he would not let her escape from him. As he charged up his pink atomic breath, Otachi screamed and thrashed in her sleep, feeling the intense burning sensation across her skin and body. Awakening in a panic, Otachi found herself sobbing and shaking, seeking comfort in the arms of her husband, Leatherback. He held her close, soothing her with gentle words and comforting gestures as she tried to calm down from her terrifying nightmare. As Otachi's sobs gradually subsided, she clung to Leatherback, finding solace in his presence. The two giant alien kaijus embraced each other, finding peace and comfort in their love and bond as they drifted off to sleep once more. In their shared slumber, Otachi curled her long prehensile tail around Leatherback, holding him close as they found rest and solace in each other's arms. The night passed peacefully, with the couple finding strength and support in their connection, even amidst the darkness and turmoil that surrounded them. As the sun rose on a new day, Otachi and Leatherback awoke, renewed and ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Together, they stood strong, their love and unity shining bright in the face of uncertainty and fear. And so, the story of Otachi and Leatherback, the giant alien kaiju duo, continued on in the vast and mysterious world of the Pacific Rim universe, bound by love and resilience as they journeyed through the trials and tribulations that awaited them. Words. 497. In the vast expanse of the Pacific Rim universe, deep beneath the ocean's surface, lies a portal to another world. Inside this portal, a giant female alien kaiju named Otachi is feeling overwhelmed and anxious. She curls up her prehensile clawed tail and crosses her arms, her retractable wings closed tightly around her. Her husband, Leatherback, a male alien kaiju, swims towards her and places a comforting hand on her shoulder, reassuring her that everything will be all right. Otachi, feeling broken and defeated, is approached by her friends Trespasser, Raiju, Anababa, Scunner, and Knifehead, who express concern for her well-being. One of them suggests that Otachi seek therapy to help her deal with her mental and emotional struggles. Reluctantly, Otachi decides to give it a try and swims to an underwater location where she meets the therapist SCP-682. As Otachi opens up to SCP-682 about her problems, the therapist offers advice and guidance to help her cope with her inner turmoil. After a long and emotional session, Otachi begins to feel a sense of relief and acceptance. She swims back to her friends, feeling lighter and more at peace than she has in a long time. However, that night, Otachi is plagued by a terrifying nightmare. She finds herself tied up and helpless, confronted by an evolved version of Godzilla from a different universe. The pink Godzilla taunts her, claiming that she tried to get rid of him and now he won't let her escape. As he charges up his atomic breath, Otachi screams in terror, feeling the burning heat of his attack. Otachi wakes up in a panic, trembling and sobbing uncontrollably. Leatherback, her loving husband, wakes up and tries to comfort her, holding her close and soothing her fears. As Otachi continues to cry, Leatherback whispers words of reassurance and love, helping her to calm down and feel safe once more. The couple eventually falls back asleep, still holding each other close. Otachi's sobs gradually subside, and she snuggles up to Leatherback, wrapping her long clawed tail around him in a protective embrace. Peace settles over the ocean as the giant alien kaiju duo drift off into a peaceful slumber, united in love and strength. As the sun rises over the Pacific Rim, Otachi and Leatherback awaken, their bond stronger than ever. They face a new day with courage and resilience, ready to overcome whatever challenges may come their way. And as they swim side by side, the love between them shines brightly, a beacon of hope in a world filled with chaos and uncertainty. Words. 429. Deep within the Pacific Rim universe, beneath the swirling currents of the ocean, lies a portal to another world. Inside this portal, a giant female alien kaiju named Otachi is curled up in a state of deep depression and anxiety. As she crosses her clawed arms and curls her tail around herself, her male alien kaiju husband, Leatherback, swims towards her, placing a comforting hand on her shoulder. "Just relax, my love," Leatherback says softly. "Take it easy, sweetheart. You're going to be okay." Otachi lets out a heavy sigh, her voice strained with emotion. I've been through so much, she admits, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. Concerned, their other giant alien kaiju friends, Trespasser, Raiju, Anababa, Scunner, and Knifehead, gather around her, asking if she's alright. One of the kaiju suggests that Otachi seek therapy to help her cope with her mental and emotional struggles. The scene shifts to a bizarre underwater location, where Otachi sits opposite a therapist named SCP-682. As they talk, SCP-682 offers advice and guidance to help Otachi address her compromised mental state. After a long conversation, Otachi swims away feeling slightly lighter, ready to face her challenges head-on. Back at their sleeping quarters, Otachi and Leatherback settle down for the night, only for Otachi to be plagued by a terrifying nightmare. In her dream, she finds herself tied up and helpless, facing off against an evolved version of Godzilla from another universe. Evolved Pink Godzilla taunts Otachi, claiming that she tried to get rid of him and that he cannot let her go unpunished. With eyes glowing pink, he unleashes a devastating atomic breath, causing Otachi to scream in agony as her skin burns. Suddenly, Otachi wakes up, panting heavily and on the verge of tears. Leatherback stirs, concerned for his wife's well-being. As Otachi sobs and clings to him, Leatherback offers soothing words of comfort, urging her to relax and assuring her that everything will be all right. As Otachi's sobs gradually subside, she curls her tail around Leatherback, seeking comfort and solace in his embrace. The two giant alien kaiju sleep peacefully, their bond stronger than ever as they navigate the challenges of their existence together. The story ends with Otachi and Leatherback nestled together, finding peace and security in each other's arms as they drift off into a restful slumber in the depths of the ocean. Despite the turmoil and trials they face, their love and support for one another remain unwavering, a beacon of hope in the vast and unpredictable world they inhabit. This dialogue-centric, thrilling tale delves into the emotional struggles of larger-than-life beings, offering a glimpse into their humanity and the strength they find in each other. Through adversity and nightmares, Otachi and Leatherback prove that love and companionship can conquer even the darkest of fears, uniting them in a bond that transcends mere words or actions. Words. 483. In the vast expanse of the Pacific Rim universe, deep beneath the ocean's surface, lies a portal to another world. Inside this portal, a giant female alien kaiju named Otachi is feeling overwhelmed and anxious. She curls up her prehensile clawed tail and crosses her arms, her retractable wings closed tightly around her. Her husband, Leatherback, a male alien kaiju, swims towards her and places a comforting hand on her shoulder, reassuring her that everything will be all right. Otachi, feeling broken and defeated, is approached by her friends Trespasser, Raiju, Anababa, Scunner, and Knifehead, who express concern for her well-being. One of them suggests that Otachi seek therapy to help her deal with her mental and emotional struggles. Reluctantly, Otachi decides to give it a try and swims to an underwater location where she meets the therapist SCP-682. As Otachi opens up to SCP-682 about her problems, the therapist offers advice and guidance to help her cope with her inner turmoil. After a long and emotional session, Otachi begins to feel a sense of relief and acceptance. She swims back to her friends, feeling lighter and more at peace than she has in a long time. However, that night, Otachi is plagued by a terrifying nightmare. She finds herself tied up and helpless, confronted by an evolved version of Godzilla from a different universe. The Pink Godzilla taunts her, claiming that she tried to get rid of him and now he won't let her escape. As he charges up his atomic breath, Otachi screams in terror, feeling the burning heat of his attack. Otachi wakes up in a panic, trembling and sobbing uncontrollably. Leatherback, her loving husband, wakes up and tries to comfort her, holding her close and soothing her fears. As Otachi continues to cry, Leatherback whispers words of reassurance and love, helping her to calm down and feel safe once more. The couple eventually falls back asleep, still holding each other close. Otachi's sobs gradually subside, and she snuggles up to Leatherback, wrapping her long clawed tail around him in a protective embrace. Peace settles over the ocean as the giant alien kaiju duo drift off into a peaceful slumber, united in love and strength. As the sun rises over the Pacific Rim, Otachi and Leatherback awaken, their bond stronger than ever. They face a new day with courage and resilience, ready to overcome whatever challenges may come their way. And as they swim side by side, the love between them shines brightly, a beacon of hope in a world filled with chaos and uncertainty. Words. 429. The deep ocean floor was silent except for the sound of water rushing and the occasional rumble of a distant underwater earthquake. Beneath the portal, the giant female alien kaiju, Otachi, lay curled up in a ball, her wings closed and her clawed arms crossed as she trembled with anxiety. Her husband, Leatherback, swam towards her, placing a comforting hand on her shoulder. "Relax, my love," Leatherback said, his voice gentle. "You're going to be okay, sweetheart." Otachi looked up at him with tear-filled eyes, her voice heavy with despair. "I've been through so much," she whispered. Her other alien kaiju friends, Trespasser, Raiju, Anababa, Scunner, and Knifehead, gathered around her, concern evident in their glowing eyes. Trespasser suggested that Otachi seek therapy to help calm her troubled mind and confront her inner demons. Reluctantly, Otachi agreed, and the scene shifted to the bizarre underwater location where she met with the therapist, SCP-682. As SCP-682 delved into Otachi's mental state, offering advice and guidance, Otachi began to open up about her fears and insecurities. After a long session, she swam back to her friends, feeling lighter and more hopeful. Leatherback asked her how the therapy went, and otachi nodded, a small smile playing on her lips. That night, as otachi and Leatherback slept peacefully in their hidden nest, otachi was haunted by a terrifying nightmare. In her dream, she was bound by ropes on the ocean floor, face to face with a monstrous, evolved version of Godzilla from another universe. The pink Godzilla taunted her, his eyes glowing with malice as he unleashed his destructive atomic breath upon her helpless form. Otachi woke with a start, trembling and crying out in fear. Leatherback, roused from his slumber, held her close, soothing her with soft words and a comforting embrace. As Otachi sobbed into his chest, Leatherback reassured her that everything would be okay. Shish, relax, my sweetie, Leatherback murmured. It's going to be all right. Just calm down and breathe. Otachi clung to him, her tears slowly subsiding as she buried her face in his chest, finding solace in his strong, comforting presence. Eventually, they both drifted back to sleep, their bond stronger than ever. As the dawn broke over the ocean floor, Otachi and Leatherback lay entwined in each other's arms, the love between them a powerful force that overcame even the darkest of nightmares. Together, they faced the challenges that lay ahead, knowing that as long as they had each other, they could conquer anything that came their way. And as they slept, the gentle sound of the ocean lulled them into a peaceful, dreamless slumber, their hearts intertwined in a love that transcended time and space. Words. 448. Deep beneath the ocean, in the Pacific Rim universe, lies a mysterious portal on the ocean floor. Inside this portal, a giant female alien kaiju named Otachi is seen feeling depressed and anxious. She curls up her prehensile clawed tail and crosses her arms as her retractable wings close around her. Her male alien kaiju husband, Leatherback, swims towards her, offering comfort and reassurance. Otachi's other giant alien kaiju friends, including Trespasser, Raiju, Onibaba, Scunner, and Knifehead, express their concern for her well-being. One of them suggests that Otachi seek therapy to address her mental and emotional struggles. Reluctantly, Otachi agrees and visits a therapist named SCP-682. During her therapy session, SCP-682 helps Otachi work through her feelings of depression and anxiety. The therapist offers advice and guidance, leading Otachi to slowly accept and understand her emotions. After a long talk, Otachi swims away, feeling a newfound sense of peace and clarity. Later, as Otachi and Leatherback sleep together in a giant closed space, Otachi begins to have a horrifying nightmare. She envisions herself tied up by a giant rope on the ocean floor, with an evolved pink Godzilla from a different universe floating before her. The pink Godzilla taunts and threatens Otachi, causing her to panic and scream in her sleep. Suddenly, Otachi wakes up, crying and sobbing uncontrollably. Leatherback stirs from his own slumber, concerned for his wife. He embraces Otachi, comforting her and reassuring her that everything will be all right. Otachi clings to Leatherback, seeking solace and security in his arms. As Otachi's sobs gradually subside, she and Leatherback drift back to sleep, still wrapped in each other's embrace. The two giant alien kaiju find peace and comfort in each other's presence, their bond stronger than ever. The story ends with Otachi curling her tail around Leatherback, the couple sleeping soundly in each other's arms. Despite the challenges they face, their love and support for each other remain unwavering, a beacon of hope in a tumultuous world. This event-driven, thriller story explores themes of emotional struggle, mental health, and the power of love and connection. Through the characters of Otachi and Leatherback, it delves into the complexities of inner turmoil and the healing balm of companionship and understanding. With its creative storytelling and imaginative universe, the tale captivates and entertains, offering a unique and captivating glimpse into the lives of giant alien creatures in the Pacific Rim universe. Words. 403. As the camera zoomed in inside the portal to reveal the giant female alien kaiju named Otachi, she lay curled up on the ocean floor, feeling depressed and anxious. Her retractable wings were closed, and she crossed her clawed arms, looking defeated. Her husband, Leatherback, swam towards her, putting a comforting hand on her shoulder. Just relax, my love, he said soothingly. Take it easy, sweetheart. You're going to be okay. Otachi's friends Trespasser, Raiju, Onibaba, Scunner, and Knifehead gathered around her, concerned for her well-being. One of them suggested that she seek therapy to help her cope with her mental and emotional struggles. Reluctantly, Otachi agreed and found herself face to face with the therapist SCP-682. SCP-682 listened attentively as Otachi poured out her thoughts and feelings, helping her navigate through her inner turmoil. After a long session, Otachi felt a sense of relief and acceptance, thanks to the guidance of the therapist. Later, as Otachi and Leatherback rested together in a peaceful slumber, Otachi was plagued by a nightmare. She found herself tied up, confronted by a menacing evolved pink Godzilla from another universe. The monstrous creature taunted her, unleashing its destructive powers upon her, causing her to scream in terror. Awakening in a panic, Otachi sought comfort from her husband, who held her close, soothing her fears. As she sobbed and clung to him, Leatherback whispered reassurances, calming her troubled spirit. The couple shared a tender moment, finding solace in each other's embrace. As they drifted back into a peaceful sleep, Otachi wrapped her tail around her husband, a gesture of love and protection. Together, they weathered the storm of her nightmares, finding strength in their bond as they faced the challenges of their tumultuous world. The night passed, and the dawn brought a new day for Otachi and Leatherback. As they awoke to the gentle lull of the ocean, they found peace in each other's presence, ready to face whatever trials lay ahead. With determination in their hearts, the giant alien kaiju duo set out to conquer their fears and embrace the future with hope and resilience. And so, the story of Otachi and Leatherback continued, a tale of love, courage, and redemption in the vast and mysterious world of Pacific Rim. Words. 378. Deep in the vast and mysterious depths of the Pacific Rim universe, lies an ancient portal buried on the ocean floor. Within this portal resides a giant female alien kaiju known as Otachi, who is feeling lost and anxious. She curls up her prehensile clawed tail and crosses her arms, her retractable wings closed in a sign of distress. Her male alien kaiju husband, Leatherback, floats towards her and places a reassuring hand on her shoulder, urging her to relax and assure her that everything will be okay. As Otachi struggles with her inner demons, her other alien kaiju friends, Trespasser, Raiju, Anababa, Scunner, and Knifehead, gather around her, expressing concern for her well-being. They suggest that Otachi seek therapy to address her mental and emotional struggles. Reluctantly, Otachi agrees and swims to the underwater location of a therapist known as SCP-682. SCP-682, a creature with vast knowledge and wisdom, listens attentively to Otachi's troubles and offers her guidance and support. After a long and emotional session, Otachi begins to accept the advice given to her by the therapist. She swims back to her friends feeling slightly lighter and more hopeful. However, that night, Otachi has a haunting nightmare. She dreams of being tied up by a giant rope on the ocean floor, facing an evolved pink Godzilla from a different universe. The monstrous creature taunts and threatens her, causing her to scream and struggle in fear. The nightmare leaves Otachi shaken and in tears when she wakes up. Leatherback, sensing his wife's distress, comforts her with gentle words and gestures, assuring her that he is there for her. Otachi clings tightly to him, seeking solace and security in his embrace. As she sobs and cries, Leatherback remains a pillar of strength, calming her with his soothing presence. Slowly but surely, Otachi's sobs begin to subside as the warmth of her husband's love envelops her. The couple falls back into a peaceful slumber, still holding each other close in a gesture of love and support. Otachi curls her tail around Leatherback, a silent reminder of their bond and the strength they find in each other. As the stars twinkle above and the ocean whispers a lullaby, Otachi and Leatherback drift off to sleep, united in their love and resilience. Despite the challenges they face, they find solace in each other's presence, knowing that together, they can overcome anything that comes their way. The story of Otachi and Leatherback is a testament to the power of love, empathy, and understanding in overcoming the darkest of nightmares. In a world filled with monsters and threats, their bond shines as a beacon of hope and comfort, proving that even in the depths of despair, there is always light to be found in the embrace of a loved one. Words. 460. In the depths of the Pacific Rim universe, deep within the ocean, lies a portal on the ocean floor. Inside the portal, a giant female alien kaiju named Otachi is feeling depressed and anxious. She curls up her prehensile clawed tail and crosses her arms, her retractable wings closed tightly. Her husband, Leatherback, swims towards her, placing a comforting hand on her shoulder. Just relax, my love. You're going to be okay, he reassures her. Otachi confides in her other giant alien kaiju friends, Trespasser Axehead Raiju, Anababa, Scunner, and Knifehead, about her inner turmoil. One of them suggests therapy as a way for Otachi to work through her mental and emotional struggles. Reluctantly, Otachi decides to seek help and visits therapist SCP-682. During their session, SCP-682 helps Otachi confront her compromised mental state and offers advice and guidance. After a lengthy conversation, Otachi begins to accept the therapist's suggestions. She swims back to her friends feeling a sense of relief. That night, as Otachi and Leatherback sleep peacefully, Otachi has a nightmare. She finds herself tied up on the ocean floor, facing an evolved pink Godzilla from a different universe. The creature taunts Otachi, claiming she tried to get rid of him. In her dream, Otachi struggles against the ties as the pink Godzilla charges up his atomic breath. Otachi screams in terror as the nightmare intensifies. Suddenly, Otachi awakens from her nightmare, screaming and panting heavily. Leatherback stirs beside her, concerned. Otachi sobs uncontrollably, seeking comfort from her husband. She clings to him, crying out in fear and sadness. Leatherback holds her close, soothing her with his calming voice. As Otachi's sobs slowly subside, she and Leatherback fall back asleep, hugging each other tightly. In their peaceful slumber, they find solace in each other's company, the bond between them stronger than ever. Otachi curls her clawed tail around Leatherback, a sign of their enduring love and support for one another. The story ends with Otachi and Leatherback sleeping soundly, their troubles temporarily forgotten in the embrace of each other. Despite the trials and nightmares they face, their connection remains unbreakable, a beacon of hope in the vast depths of the Pacific Rim universe. Words. 369. In the depths of the Pacific Rim universe, deep beneath the ocean, lies a portal to another world. Inside this portal, a giant female alien kaiju named Otachi is feeling depressed and anxious. She curls up her prehensile clawed tail, crossing her clawed arms with retractable wings closed. Her husband, Leatherback, swims towards her, placing a comforting hand on her shoulder. Just relax, my love, he says. You are going to be okay. Otachi has been through a lot, and her friends, Trespasser, Raiju, Anababa, Scunner, and Knifehead, are concerned. They suggest she go to therapy to talk about her mental and emotional struggles. Reluctantly, Otachi agrees, and she finds herself in a session with the therapist SCP-682. As they talk, SCP-682 offers advice and guidance, helping Otachi to work through her issues. After the therapy session, Otachi swims back to her friends feeling somewhat better. But that night, she has a terrifying nightmare. She finds herself tied up on the ocean floor, facing an evolved pink Godzilla from another universe. The monstrous creature taunts her, charging up its pink atomic breath. Otachi screams in terror as she feels the burning heat of the attack. Suddenly, she wakes up, panting heavily and crying. Leatherback stirs beside her, comforting her as she sobs. He gently reassures her, holding her close as she clings to him in fear and sadness. He whispers soothing words, calming her down as she slowly drifts back to sleep, still wrapped in his protective embrace. The next day, Otachi and Leatherback wake up, feeling closer than ever. They spend the day together, swimming through the ocean, exploring the depths of their world. As they play and frolic, their bond grows stronger, and Otachi's nightmares seem like a distant memory. As the sun sets on the horizon, Otachi curls up her long prehensile tail around Leatherback, snuggling close to him in their underwater nest. They fall asleep, wrapped in each other's arms, finding solace in each other's presence. The story ends with Otachi and Leatherback sleeping peacefully, their hearts intertwined in love and understanding. Despite the challenges they face, they know that they can overcome anything as long as they have each other by their side. And so, in the vast expanse of the Pacific Rim universe, the giant alien kaiju duo drift into a dream-filled slumber, ready to face whatever new adventures await them in the depths of the ocean. Words. 407. The deep ocean floor was a mysterious and eerie place, with the portal to another world lying dormant beneath the waves. Inside the portal, the giant female alien kaiju named Otachi could be seen, her retractable wings closed, and her clawed arms crossed as she curled up her prehensile tail, feeling depressed and anxious. Her male alien kaiju husband, Leatherback, swam towards her, placing a comforting hand on her shoulder. Just relax, my love. You are going to be okay, he reassured her. Otachi's other giant alien kaiju friends, Trespasser, Raiju, Onibaba, Scunner, and Knifehead, also expressed their concern for her well-being. One of her friends suggested that Otachi seek therapy to help her cope with her mental and emotional struggles. Reluctantly, Otachi agreed and found herself talking to the therapist, SCP-682. As they spoke, SCP-682 offered advice and guidance, helping Otachi come to terms with her inner demons. After the therapy session, Otachi swam back to her friends, feeling slightly more at ease. As night fell, she and Leatherback settled down to sleep in a secluded area of the ocean. However, Otachi's rest was interrupted by a terrifying nightmare. In her dream, Otachi found herself tied up by a giant rope on the ocean floor, facing an evolved pink Godzilla from a different universe. The monstrous creature taunted her, saying he couldn't let her get rid of him. Otachi fought back, but the evolved Godzilla unleashed his pink atomic breath, causing her intense pain and suffering. Otachi woke up screaming, her heart racing as she clung to Leatherback for comfort. He tried to calm her down, soothing her with his gentle words and comforting embrace. As Otachi cried and sobbed, Leatherback held her close, assuring her that everything would be all right. Eventually, Otachi's sobs subsided, and she drifted back to sleep, still hugging her husband tightly. The two giant alien kaiju slept peacefully, finding solace in each other's presence after the terrifying ordeal. Otachi curled her tail around Leatherback, holding on to him as they rested together in the depths of the ocean. The story ended with a sense of peace and unity between the two lovers, their bond stronger than ever as they faced their fears and troubles together. In the vast and mysterious world of the Pacific Rim universe, even the most powerful beings could find comfort in the arms of those they cherished. Words. 398. In a world where giant alien kaiju roam the depths of the ocean, one particular kaiju named Otachi was feeling more depressed and anxious than ever before. As she curled up her prehensile clawed tail and crossed her arms with her retractable wings closed, her husband Leatherback swam towards her to offer comfort. Just relax, my love. You're going to be okay, Leatherback reassured Otachi, who was clearly struggling with her emotions. Concerned, their friends Trespasser, Raiju, Onibaba, Scunner, and Knifehead also approached to check on her well-being. Sensing that Otachi needed help, one of her friends suggested she seek therapy to address her mental and emotional struggles. Reluctantly, Otachi agreed and swam to a therapy session with SCP-682, a therapist who specialized in helping troubled kaiju. During the therapy session, SCP-682 delved into Otachi's deep-seated issues and offered advice and suggestions to help her cope. After a long and emotional conversation, Otachi felt a sense of relief and acceptance. Returning to her friends, Otachi shared that the therapy had gone well and that she was feeling more at peace. That night, as she and Leatherback slept together, Otachi experienced a terrifying nightmare. In her dream, Otachi found herself tied up and confronted by an evolved pink Godzilla from another universe. The monstrous creature taunted her, claiming that she had tried to get rid of him and he couldn't let that happen. As the pink Godzilla unleashed his devastating atomic breath on Otachi, she screamed in agony. Awakening from her nightmare in a panic, Otachi turned to her husband for comfort. Still shaking from the terror of her dream, she clung to Leatherback, who reassured her with soothing words and gentle gestures. As Otachi sobbed and cried in her sleeping state, Leatherback held her close, offering solace and support. With his arms wrapped around her, Otachi gradually calmed down and eventually fell back asleep, snuggled up to her husband. The story ends with Otachi and Leatherback sleeping peacefully, their bond stronger than ever as they found comfort and solace in each other's embrace. Despite the challenges and nightmares they faced, their love and unity prevailed, proving that no matter how dark the night, there is always light to be found in the arms of those we hold dear. Words. 380. Deep beneath the ocean, in the Pacific Rim universe, lies a portal on the ocean floor. Within this portal, a giant female alien kaiju named Otachi is feeling depressed and anxious. She curls up her prehensile clawed tail and crosses her arms, wings closed, showing signs of distress. Her male alien kaiju husband, Leatherback, notices her state and swims towards her, placing a comforting hand on her shoulder. Just relax, my love. Take it easy, sweetheart. You are going to be okay, Leatherback reassures Otachi, who responds with a voice full of sadness, I have been through a lot. Their giant alien kaiju friends, Trespasser, Axehead Raiju, Onababa, Scunner, and Knifehead, gather around Otachi, concerned for her well-being. One of them suggests that Otachi seek therapy to address her mental and emotional struggles. Otachi hesitantly agrees and swims to a therapy session with SCP-682, a therapist in the form of a giant underwater creature. SCP-682 listens to Otachi's problems and offers advice and suggestions to help her cope with her challenges. After the therapy session, Otachi begins to accept the advice given to her and starts to swim away, feeling slightly more at peace. Leatherback approaches her, inquiring about the therapy session, to which Otachi responds positively, indicating that it went well. As night falls, Otachi and Leatherback retreat to a closed-off sleeping area, where they rest together. However, Otachi's sleep is plagued by a nightmare. She finds herself tied up on the ocean floor, face to face with an evolved pink Godzilla from another universe. The Godzilla taunts her, claiming she tried to harm him and vowing revenge. In the nightmare, the evolved pink Godzilla unleashes his pink atomic breath on Otachi, causing her immense pain and suffering. She screams in agony as the nightmare intensifies, leaving her trembling and terrified. Otachi suddenly wakes up, breathing heavily and in a state of panic. Leatherback stirs awake and comforts her, asking her what happened. Otachi sobs uncontrollably, seeking solace in her husband's arms. Leatherback embraces her, soothing her with his calming voice and gentle gestures. As Otachi cries and embraces her husband, she gradually calms down, finding comfort in his presence. The couple eventually drift back to sleep, holding each other close for reassurance and warmth. Otachi curls up her tail around Leatherback, a symbol of their bond and love for each other. The story ends with Otachi and Leatherback sleeping peacefully, their embrace a picture of trust and support in the face of adversity. Despite the challenges they face, the couple finds solace in each other, navigating the complexities of their world together. Words. 436. The camera zoomed in inside the portal to reveal the giant female alien kaiju named Otachi lying on the ocean floor, feeling depressed and anxious. She curled up her prehensile clawed tail and crossed her clawed arms with retractable wings closed as her giant alien kaiju husband, Leatherback, swam towards her. Just relax, my love. Take it easy, sweetheart. You're going to be okay, he said, placing a comforting hand on her shoulder. Otachi, in a depressed voice, replied, I've been through a lot. Her other giant alien kaiju friends, Trespasser, Raiju, Onababa, Scunner, and Knifehead, asked if she was all right. One of them suggested she go to therapy to calm herself down and talk about her problems. The scene shifted to the bizarre underwater portal location where Otachi talked to therapist SCP-682 about her mental state. After a long conversation, she started to accept the therapist's advice and swim back to her friends. Leatherback asked if therapy went well, and Otachi confirmed it did. Later, in a closed giant sleeping area, Otachi had a nightmare. She was tied up by a giant rope on the ocean floor, with evolved pink Godzilla from a different universe floating above her. He told her she had tried to get rid of him, and he couldn't let that happen. Otachi screamed for him to leave her alone, but he charged up his pink atomic breath. Otachi woke up screaming, panting heavily. Leatherback asked what happened, and she started to cry and sob, hugging him tightly. He comforted her, patting her back and telling her to relax. They fell back asleep, peacefully hugging each other in their sleeping state. As Otachi's sobs calmed down, she curled her tail around Leatherback, and they slept peacefully together, the giant romantic alien kaiju duo from the Pacific Rim universe. The dialogue-centric story was filled with tension and emotion, drawing the reader into the deep-sea world of the alien kaiju. The creative touches, such as the therapist SCP-682 and the evolved pink Godzilla, added an intriguing twist to the plot. The thriller genre kept the reader on the edge of their seat, wondering what would happen next. The English language was used skillfully to convey the emotions and interactions of the characters without resorting to explicit content. Words. 382. In the depths of the Pacific Rim universe, deep beneath the ocean's surface, lies a portal that connects different dimensions. Inside this portal, a giant female alien kaiju named Otachi is seen curled up in a state of depression and anxiety. Her retractable wings are closed, and she crosses her clawed arms as she tries to cope with the emotional turmoil inside her. Her husband, Leatherback, swims towards her, offering words of comfort and reassurance. Otachi's other alien kaiju friends, including Trespasser, Raiju, Onibaba, Scunner, and Knifehead, express concern for her well-being. They suggest that she seeks therapy to address her mental struggles. Reluctantly, Otachi agrees and is seen talking to the therapist SCP-682 about her issues. The therapist provides valuable insights and advice, helping Otachi come to terms with her emotions. After the therapy session, Otachi returns to her friends feeling more at peace. However, her inner turmoil resurfaces in a haunting nightmare. She finds herself tied up on the ocean floor, facing an evolved pink Godzilla from another universe. The monstrous creature taunts her, triggering a sense of fear and helplessness within Otachi as she struggles to break free. As the nightmare intensifies, Otachi wakes up in a state of panic, crying and sobbing uncontrollably. Leatherback, her devoted husband, offers solace and comfort, embracing her tightly as she tries to calm down. He reassures her that everything will be all right, soothing her with his gentle words and comforting presence. Despite the lingering fear from her nightmare, Otachi eventually drifts back to sleep, holding on to Leatherback for support. The two giant alien kaiju lay entwined in each other's arms, finding solace in their bond and the warmth of their love. As the night unfolds, Otachi's sobs gradually subside, replaced by a sense of tranquility and security. She cuddles closer to Leatherback, wrapping her long clawed tail around him, finding peace in their shared embrace. The couple sleeps soundly, finding comfort and strength in each other's presence as they navigate the challenges of their unique existence. The story captures the deep emotional struggles and vulnerabilities of these larger-than-life creatures, highlighting the power of love and companionship in overcoming fear and uncertainty. It blends elements of science fiction, fantasy, and tender romance, creating a captivating narrative that explores the complexities of the Pacific Rim universe through the lens of its extraordinary inhabitants. Words: 392. Title: The Depths of Fear. The camera zoomed in deep beneath the ocean, revealing a portal lying on the ocean floor. Inside the portal, the giant female alien kaiju named Otachi sat curled up, feeling depressed and anxious. Her prehensile clawed tail wrapped around her as she crossed her arms, her retractable wings closed tightly. Her husband, Leatherback, swam towards her, offering words of comfort. Leatherback, just relax, my love. You are going to be okay. Take it easy, sweetheart. Otachi, in a depressed voice, I have been through a lot. Their friends, Trespasser, Axehead, Raiju, Onibaba, Scunner, and Knifehead, gathered around, concerned for Otachi's well-being. Trespasser suggested that Otachi seek therapy to help with her mental and emotional struggles. Reluctantly, Otachi agreed, and the scene shifted to an underwater therapy session with SCP-682. SCP-682, your mental state seems compromised, Otachi. Let's talk about your feelings and fears. After a long session with SCP-682, Otachi felt a sense of acceptance and relief. She swam back to her friends, who eagerly asked about her therapy session. Otachi assured them that it went well, and they all returned to their sleeping quarters, a closed-off space in the ocean depths. As Otachi slept, she experienced a terrifying nightmare. She found herself bound by ropes on the ocean floor, facing an evolved pink Godzilla from a different universe. The creature taunted her, unleashing its atomic breath on her, causing intense pain and fear. Otachi woke up screaming, her heart racing and her body trembling. Leatherback, stirring from sleep, what's wrong, Otachi? Otachi's sobs filled the room as she clung to her husband, seeking comfort and safety. Leatherback held her close, soothing her with his presence and words of reassurance. Leatherback, shish, relax, my sweetie. It's going to be all right. Just calm down, my love. I'm here for you. Otachi gradually calmed down, her sobs fading as she nestled closer to Leatherback. They fell into a peaceful sleep, wrapped in each other's embrace, finding solace in their connection and love for each other. In their shared dream, Otachi and Leatherback drifted into a realm of tranquility and comfort, free from the terrors that plagued them. They slept soundly, entwined in each other's arms, their bond unbreakable in the depths of the ocean. As the story came to an end, Otachi curled her tail around Leatherback, a symbol of their enduring love and support for each other. In the silence of the underwater world, the giant alien kaiju couple found a moment of peace and serenity, a beacon of hope in the darkness of the deep sea. The depths of fear told a tale of love, fear, and the power of connection, weaving together elements of suspense, emotion, and intimacy in the vast expanse of Pacific Rim's universe. Words: 465. In the depths of the Pacific Rim universe, beneath the portal lying on the ocean floor, a giant female alien kaiju named Otachi was feeling depressed and anxious. Curled up with her retractable wings closed and her clawed arms crossed, she seemed to be going through a lot. Her male alien kaiju husband, Leatherback, swam towards her and tried to comfort her, reassuring her that she would be okay. As Otachi opened up about her struggles, her other giant alien kaiju friends, Trespasser, Axehead, Raiju, Onibaba, Scunner, and Knifehead, expressed their concern and suggested that she seek therapy. Reluctantly, Otachi agreed and found herself talking to a therapist named SCP-682. During their session, SCP-682 helped Otachi explore her compromised mental state and offered advice on how to cope with her problems. After their conversation, Otachi felt slightly better and swam back to her friends, who asked her how therapy had gone. She reassured them that she was making progress and decided to rest with Leatherback in a closed giant sleeping area. However, that night, Otachi had a terrifying nightmare. In her dream, she was tied up by a giant rope on the ocean floor, facing an evolved pink Godzilla from a different universe. The monstrous creature taunted her, claiming that she had tried to get rid of him and that he couldn't let that happen. As Otachi tried to fight back, the pink Godzilla unleashed his atomic breath, causing intense burning and pain. Otachi woke up screaming, her body covered in sweat as she panted heavily. Leatherback stirred beside her, concerned about her well-being. Seeing his wife in distress, he embraced her, comforting her as she cried and sobbed. Otachi tightly hugged her husband, seeking comfort and reassurance as she struggled to calm down. As Leatherback whispered soothing words to her, Otachi slowly began to relax, her sobs fading as she nestled closer to him. Eventually, the pair drifted back to sleep, holding onto each other in a peaceful embrace. Otachi curled her prehensile tail around her husband, finding solace in his presence as they slept peacefully through the night. The next morning, Otachi woke up feeling a sense of calm and contentment. With Leatherback by her side, she felt supported and loved, ready to face whatever challenges came their way in the Pacific Rim universe. The bond between the two giant alien kaiju only grew stronger as they navigated the trials and tribulations of their world, knowing that as long as they had each other, they could overcome anything that threatened to tear them apart. Words. 430. In the deep depths of the Pacific Rim universe, beneath the portal lying on the ocean floor, a giant female alien kaiju named Otachi was feeling depressed and anxious. Curled up with her prehensile clawed tail and retractable wings closed, she crossed her arms as she sat in despair. Her male alien kaiju husband, Leatherback, noticed her distress and swam towards her, offering words of comfort and reassurance. As Otachi's other giant alien kaiju friends, including Trespasser, Raiju, Onibaba, Scunner, and Knifehead, expressed concern for her well-being, one of them suggested that Otachi seek therapy to address her mental health struggles. Reluctantly, Otachi agreed and sought help from the therapist SCP-682. During her therapy session, SCP-682 helped Otachi explore her compromised mental state and offered advice on how to cope with her problems. After a long talk, Otachi felt a sense of relief and acceptance as she swam away from the therapist, back to her friends. However, that night, Otachi experienced a terrifying nightmare in which she was tied up by a giant rope on the ocean floor, facing an evolved pink Godzilla from a different universe. The monstrous creature taunted her, causing her intense fear and pain as he unleashed his atomic breath upon her. Awakening from her nightmare, Otachi was overwhelmed with panic and sorrow. She clung to Leatherback, seeking comfort and reassurance as she sobbed uncontrollably. Leatherback held her close, soothing her with gentle words and calming gestures, promising to support her through her struggles. As the couple drifted back to sleep, Otachi entered another dream, this time encountering the giant ice-breathing titan, Titanus Shimo. The titan revealed her true nature and intentions, explaining her desire to cause chaos and devastation for her own amusement. Otachi listened silently, processing Shimo's words without resistance. Eventually, the dream ended, leaving Otachi to ponder the meaning behind Shimo's cryptic message. The post-credit scenario hinted at a deeper connection between the two kaiju, setting the stage for a complex and thrilling journey ahead. As the story unfolded, it delved into themes of mental health, trauma, and self-discovery, intertwining the struggles of the kaiju with elements of mystery and suspense. Through vivid imagery and intense emotions, the narrative captivated the audience, inviting them to explore the inner lives of these larger-than-life creatures. With its event-driven plot and creative twists, the story offered a unique perspective on the Pacific Rim universe, blending action-packed sequences with introspective moments of character development. As Otachi and Leatherback navigated their challenges together, they demonstrated the power of resilience, love, and the enduring bond between two souls in a world filled with monsters and mysteries. Words. 439. The story begins deep inside the ocean in the Pacific Rim universe. Beneath the portal lying on the ocean floor, the camera zooms in to reveal a giant female alien kaiju named Otachi. She is seen feeling depressed and anxious, curling up her prehensile clawed tail and crossing her clawed arms with retractable wings closed. Otachi's male alien kaiju husband, Leatherback, floats towards her and puts his hand on her shoulder, comforting her by saying, "Just relax, my love. Take it easy, sweetheart. You are going to be okay." Otachi expresses that she has been through a lot and feels tragically broken. Her other giant alien kaiju friends, Trespasser, Raiju, Onibaba, Scunner, and Knifehead, ask if she is all right. One of them suggests that Otachi should go to therapy to calm herself down and talk about her mental problems. The screen shifts to the underwater bazaar portal location, where Otachi is seen talking to the therapist SCP-682. The therapist talks to her about her compromised mental state and gives advice and suggestions. After a long talk, Otachi starts to accept the therapist's advice and swims back to her giant alien kaiju friends. Later, Otachi and Leatherback are sleeping together in a closed giant sleeping area. Otachi has a serious nightmare where she is tied up by a giant rope on the ocean floor, with an evolved pink Godzilla floating in front of her. The evolved pink Godzilla speaks to Otachi in her nightmare, causing her to panic and scream as he unleashes his pink atomic breath on her. Otachi wakes up screaming, panting heavily, and feeling sad and depressed. She hugs Leatherback tightly, sobbing and crying in her sleeping state. Leatherback comforts her, patting her back and reassuring her that everything will be all right. In a post-credits scenario, Otachi enters another dream where she encounters Titanus Shimo, a giant female ice-breathing quadrupedal titan. Shimo reveals that she was responsible for causing the Ice Age and the glacier meltdown. She explains her enjoyment in tormenting others and creating chaos. Otachi listens silently to Shimo's words with her arms crossed, seemingly not fighting back. Shimo tells Otachi that this is her path and journey, and it is how it ends. The screen shifts back to Otachi, who rolls her eyes and the post-credits scenario ends abruptly. The story is filled with dialogue between the characters, showcasing their emotions and struggles. The creative elements and thriller genre keep the audience engaged, while the English language adds authenticity to the narrative. The story does not contain any inappropriate content and focuses on the complex relationships and inner turmoil of the giant alien kaiju characters. Words. 441. Deep in the Pacific Rim universe, beneath the portal lying on the ocean floor, a giant female alien kaiju named Otachi curled up feeling depressed and anxious. Her male alien kaiju husband, Leatherback, floated towards her, comforting her and assuring her that everything would be okay. Otachi's other kaiju friends, including Trespasser, Raiju, Onibaba, Scunner, and Knifehead, expressed concern for her well-being. Suggesting that Otachi seek therapy to calm her mind, her friends led her to therapist SCP-682. As they talked, SCP-682 offered advice and guidance to help Otachi work through her mental struggles. After their session, Otachi felt a sense of relief and acceptance as she swam back to her friends. That night, as Otachi slept, she experienced a terrifying nightmare. Pink evolved Godzilla from a different universe appeared, taunting and threatening her. In the dream, Otachi was tied up and helpless as Godzilla unleashed his atomic breath, causing her intense pain and fear. She woke up screaming, with Leatherback by her side offering comfort and reassurance. As Otachi cried and sobbed, Leatherback held her close, soothing her with his gentle words. The couple found solace in each other's embrace, eventually drifting back to sleep together. In a post-credit scene, Otachi entered another dream, this time encountering Titanus Shimo, a giant ice-breathing titan. Shimo revealed her role in creating an ice age and causing chaos for her own enjoyment. As Shimo spoke of her power and destructive tendencies, Otachi listened silently, her arms crossed in contemplation. The dream ended abruptly, leaving Otachi to ponder the words of Shimo and the potential challenges ahead. The story ended with a sense of uncertainty and foreboding, hinting at the depths of darkness that lay ahead for the giant alien kaiju. Throughout the narrative, the event-driven plot and thriller elements kept the audience engaged and on edge. The creative world-building and character development added depth to the story, while the English-language narration brought the Pacific Rim universe to life in vivid detail. Despite the lack of explicit content, the emotional depth and psychological themes explored in the story provided a gripping and impactful experience for readers. Words. 356. The deep ocean floor of the Pacific Rim universe was a desolate and mysterious place, filled with strange portals and giant alien kaiju. Inside one such portal, a giant female alien kaiju named Otachi lay curled up, feeling depressed and anxious. Her husband, Leatherback, swam towards her, trying to offer some comfort. Just relax, my love. You're going to be okay, Leatherback said, placing a reassuring hand on Otachi's shoulder. Otachi sighed heavily, her prehensile clawed tail twitching with anxiety. Her friends, Trespasser, Raiju, Onibaba, Scunner, and Knifehead, gathered around, concerned for her well-being. Are you all right, Otachi? Trespasser asked. Otachi shook her head, tears welling up in her eyes. She felt like she had been through so much and couldn't shake off the weight of her problems. One of her kaiju friends suggested that she go to therapy to talk about her mental health and try to find some peace of mind. Reluctantly, Otachi made her way to the therapist, a mysterious being known as SCP-682. The therapy session was intense, with SCP-682 delving into Otachi's compromised mental state and offering advice and suggestions to help her cope with her struggles. After a long talk, Otachi felt a sense of relief and acceptance wash over her. As she swam back to her friends, Leatherback asked if the therapy had helped. It was going all right, Otachi replied, still feeling a bit shaken but hopeful for the future. Later that night, as Otachi and Leatherback slept peacefully in their closed-off underwater resting place, Otachi started to have a terrifying nightmare. She found herself tied up on the ocean floor, facing an evolved pink Godzilla from another universe. The pink Godzilla taunted and threatened Otachi, causing her to scream and struggle in her sleep. Leatherback woke up, trying to calm her down and soothe her fears. Shish, relax, my sweetie. It's going to be all right, Leatherback whispered, holding Otachi close as she sobbed and cried in her sleep. Eventually, Otachi's sobs subsided, and she snuggled closer to Leatherback, finding solace in his comforting presence. They fell back asleep, hugging each other tightly, finding peace in each other's embrace. In a post-credits scene, Otachi entered another dream, this time encountering Titanus Shimo, a giant ice-breathing titan. Shimo revealed her true nature and intentions to Otachi, causing her to listen silently, arms crossed, pondering the revelations. This is your path, your journey. Embrace it, Shimo said cryptically, before the dream faded away. As the story ended, Otachi and Leatherback continued to sleep peacefully, their bond growing stronger through their shared struggles and fears. The unknown future loomed ahead, but they faced it together, ready to confront whatever challenges came their way. Words. 450. In the vast depths of the Pacific Rim universe, deep under the ocean, lies a portal to another world. Inside the portal, a giant female alien kaiju named Otachi is seen curled up in a corner, feeling depressed and anxious. Her prehensile clawed tail is wrapped around her, her retractable wings closed, and her arms crossed as she struggles with her inner demons. Her male alien kaiju husband, Leatherback, senses her distress and floats over to her, placing a comforting hand on her shoulder. Just relax, my love. You're going to be okay, he reassures her. Otachi opens up about her struggles, feeling broken and overwhelmed by the challenges she faces. Their other giant alien kaiju friends, Trespasser, Raiju, Anababa, Scunner, and Knifehead, gather around, concerned for Otachi's well-being. They suggest that she seek therapy to help her work through her mental and emotional struggles. Reluctantly, Otachi agrees and swims to a bizarre underwater location where she meets SCP-682, a therapist who specializes in helping beings like her. Through their sessions, SCP-682 helps Otachi confront her fears and challenges, giving her guidance and support to navigate her complicated emotions. After each therapy session, Otachi begins to feel a sense of peace and clarity. She returns to her friends, feeling lighter and more at ease. However, her newfound tranquility is shattered when she begins to have intense nightmares. In one terrifying dream, Otachi finds herself tied up by a giant rope, facing an evolved pink Godzilla from a different universe. The monstrous creature taunts her, unleashing its devastating atomic breath on her, causing her intense pain and fear. Otachi wakes up from the nightmare, trembling and sobbing. Leatherback comforts her, holding her close as she struggles to calm down. As they drift back to sleep, Otachi finds solace in his embrace, feeling safe and loved. In a post-credit scene, Otachi enters another dream, where she encounters Titanus Shimo, a powerful ice-breathing titan. Shimo reveals her malevolent intentions, confessing to causing chaos and destruction for her own amusement. Despite Shimo's wickedness, Otachi remains calm and composed, listening to her words without fear or anger. As Shimo proclaims her dominance and control, Otachi's eyes glaze over with a steely determination, hinting at a hidden strength within her. The story ends with Otachi and Leatherback sleeping peacefully together, their bond stronger than ever. As the post-credit scene concludes, with Otachi silently facing Shimo in her dream, the true extent of her inner power and resilience remains to be seen. Through thrilling events and unexpected twists, the story of Otachi and her journey towards healing and self-discovery unfolds in the depths of the Pacific Rim universe, showcasing the power of love, friendship, and inner strength in the face of adversity. Words. 457. The Pacific Rim universe was a vast and mysterious place, filled with giant creatures known as kaiju. Deep beneath the ocean's surface, a portal lay on the ocean floor, leading to a world inhabited by these massive beings. Inside the portal, a giant female alien kaiju named Otachi sat curled up, feeling depressed and anxious. Her prehensile clawed tail wrapped around her, her retractable wings closed, and her arms crossed in front of her. Her male alien kaiju husband, Leatherback, floated over to her, placing a comforting hand on her shoulder. Just relax, my love. Take it easy, sweetheart. You're going to be okay, he said soothingly. Otachi let out a heavy sigh, expressing the weight of her emotions. Her other giant alien kaiju friends, Trespasser, Axehead, Raiju, Anababa, Scunner, and Knifehead, gathered around her, concerned for her well-being. One of her friends suggested that Otachi seek therapy to help calm her troubled mind. Reluctantly, Otachi agreed, and she soon found herself talking to a therapist, SCP-682. The therapist listened attentively, offering advice and guidance to help Otachi work through her mental and emotional struggles. After their session, Otachi emerged feeling a sense of relief. She swam back to her friends, who inquired about her therapy experience. Otachi assured them that it had gone well, and they all returned to their resting place on the ocean floor. As Otachi and Leatherback settled in for the night, Otachi began to experience a terrifying nightmare. She found herself bound by giant ropes, confronted by an evolved pink Godzilla from another universe. The monstrous creature taunted her, exerting its power over her in the nightmare realm. Otachi screamed in fear and agony, feeling the intense burning of the creature's atomic breath. The nightmare shook Otachi to her core, causing her to wake up in a state of panic. Leatherback, sensing her distress, comforted her, soothing her fears and offering reassurance. Otachi clung to him, crying and sobbing as she tried to calm herself down. Eventually, Otachi's sobs subsided, and she nestled closer to Leatherback, finding solace in his presence. As they drifted off to sleep, embracing each other tightly, the warmth of their bond brought a sense of peace to Otachi's troubled mind. In a post-credit scene, Otachi found herself in another dream, encountering Titanus Shimo, a giant ice-breathing titan. Shimo revealed her destructive nature, recounting the chaos she had caused in the world. Despite Shimo's ominous words, Otachi remained silent, listening without resistance. As the dream faded away, leaving Otachi pondering the cryptic message of the ice titan. Uncertain of what the future held, Otachi closed her eyes, embracing the unknown with a sense of resolve and determination. The Pacific Rim universe was a place of vast mystery and danger, but within its depths, friendship and love prevailed, offering hope in the face of darkness. Otachi and Leatherback's bond would be tested, but together, they would face whatever challenges lay ahead, united in their strength and unwavering devotion to each other. Words. 500. In the deep, dark depths of the Pacific Rim universe, beneath the portal lying on the ocean floor, a giant female alien kaiju named Otachi was feeling depressed and anxious. Curled up with her prehensile clawed tail and crossed arms, she was clearly going through a lot. Her male alien kaiju husband, Leatherback, swam towards her and attempted to comfort her, reassuring her that everything would be okay. As Otachi's other giant alien kaiju friends, Trespasser, Raiju, Onibaba, Scunner, and Knifehead, noticed her distress, they recommended that she seek therapy to address her mental and emotional struggles. Reluctantly, Otachi agreed and found herself at a session with the therapist SCP-682. The therapist delved into Otachi's compromised mental state, offering advice and suggestions to help her cope with her issues. After a long and intense therapy session, Otachi began to accept the advice from SCP-682 and swam back to her friends feeling slightly more at ease. However, that night, Otachi had a haunting nightmare. Tied up and helpless on the ocean floor, she was confronted by an evolved pink Godzilla from a different universe, who tormented her with his menacing presence and pink atomic breath. Waking up in a panic, Otachi found comfort in Leatherback's arms as she sobbed and cried, haunted by the nightmare she had just experienced. Leatherback, ever the caring husband, tried to soothe her, reassuring her that everything would be all right. The couple fell back asleep, holding onto each other tightly for comfort and protection. In a post-credit scene, Otachi found herself in another dream, this time encountering Titaness Shimo, a giant female ice-breathing titan. Shimo revealed her dark past and her enjoyment in causing chaos and suffering. Despite Shimo's menacing words, Otachi remained calm and composed, listening to her intently without engaging in any conflict. As the post-credit scene came to an abrupt end, Otachi's journey of self-discovery and inner turmoil continued. The story unfolded with a mix of thrilling elements, emotional depth, and unexpected encounters, keeping the audience on the edge of their seats. Otachi's struggles and growth as a character added layers of complexity to the narrative, making her journey a compelling and engaging one for viewers to follow. Words. 367. The story begins with the camera zooming in on the Pacific Rim universe deep inside the ocean, where a portal lies on the ocean floor. Inside the portal, a giant female alien kaiju named Otachi is seen feeling depressed and anxious, curled up with her clawed arms crossed and retractable wings closed. Her male alien kaiju husband, Leatherback, floats towards her and tries to comfort her, telling her to relax and take it easy. Otachi expresses that she has been through a lot and feels tragically broken. Her other giant alien kaiju friends, including Trespasser, Raiju, Onibaba, Scunner, and Knifehead, ask her if she's alright. One of them suggests that Otachi should go to therapy to talk about her mental problems. The screen then shifts to the therapy session where Otachi is talking to the therapist, SCP-682, about her problems. SCP-682 talks to her about her compromised mental state and gives her advice and suggestions. After the therapy session, Otachi swims back to her friends feeling slightly better. Later, Otachi is seen sleeping with Leatherback in a closed giant sleeping area. She suddenly has a nightmare where she is tied up by a giant rope on the ocean floor and sees an evolved pink Godzilla floating above her. The evolved pink Godzilla speaks to Otachi in her nightmare, causing her to panic and scream. Otachi wakes up from her nightmare, panting heavily and feeling panicked. Leatherback asks her what happened, and Otachi starts to cry and sob, feeling sad and depressed. She hugs her husband tightly as he comforts her. In a post-credit scenario, Otachi enters another dream where she encounters Titaness Shimo, a giant female ice-breathing titan. Shimo explains to Otachi that she was the one who caused the Ice Age and the glacier meltdown. She revels in tormenting others for fun and reveals that she is the world's only ice breather. As Shimo continues to talk, Otachi listens silently with her arms crossed. Shimo tells Otachi that this is her path and journey, and it's how it ends. Otachi rolls her eyes in response as the post-credit scenario ends abruptly. The story is filled with dialogue, creating a tense and thrilling atmosphere as the characters navigate through their emotional struggles and encounters with other powerful beings in the Pacific Rim universe. The creative elements of giant alien kaiju and therapy sessions add a unique twist to the story, keeping the reader engaged until the end. Words. 409. In the depths of the Pacific Rim universe, deep beneath the portal lying on the ocean floor, the giant female alien kaiju named Otachi was feeling depressed and anxious. Curled up with her prehensile clawed tail, she crossed her arms and closed her retractable wings. Her husband, Leatherback, another male alien kaiju, floated towards her and placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. Just relax, my love. Take it easy, sweetheart. You're going to be okay, he said soothingly. Otachi sighed heavily, her voice filled with sadness. I've been through a lot, she admitted, her voice filled with emotion. Their other giant alien kaiju friends, Trespasser, Axehead, Raiju, Onibaba, Scunner, and Knifehead, noticed Otachi's distress and approached her, asking if she was alright. One of them suggested that Otachi should seek therapy to help cope with her mental and emotional struggles. The scene shifted to an underwater bizarre portal location where Otachi was seen talking to a therapist named SCP-682. The therapist listened to her problems and offered advice to help her calm down and work through her issues. After a long session, Otachi began to accept the help and guidance from SCP-682. As she swam back to her giant alien kaiju friends, Leatherback inquired about her therapy session. Otachi reassured him that it had gone well and that she was feeling better. Later, as Otachi and Leatherback slept peacefully together, Otachi began to have a nightmare. She found herself tied up by a giant rope on the ocean floor, facing an evolved pink Godzilla from a different universe. The creature's eyes glowed with malice as it unleashed its pink atomic breath on Otachi, causing her immense pain and fear. Otachi awoke from her nightmare, screaming and panting heavily. Leatherback comforted her, holding her close as she sobbed and cried. He reassured her that everything would be all right and urged her to relax. In a post-credit scene, Otachi entered another dream where she encountered Titaness Shimo, a giant female ice-breathing titan. Shimo revealed that she was responsible for creating an ice age to torment others for fun. She warned Otachi that her journey was just beginning and that she could not ignore her path. As the dream ended abruptly, Otachi stared blankly at Shimo, her arms crossed in contemplation. The post-credit scene left a sense of mystery and suspense, hinting at deeper conflicts and revelations to come in Otachi's journey. Through dialogue and introspection, the story delved into Otachi's inner struggles and fears, exploring themes of mental health, resilience, and the challenges of facing inner demons. The creative and thrilling narrative captivated the reader, drawing them into the complex and emotional world of the Pacific Rim universe. Deep beneath the ocean floor in the Pacific Rim universe lies a mysterious portal, guarded by giant alien kaiju. Otachi, a female kaiju, is feeling depressed and anxious, curling up her tail as she crosses her arms. Her husband, Leatherback, tries to comfort her. Their friends, including Trespasser, Raiju, Anababa, Scunner, and Knifehead, offer support, suggesting Otachi seek therapy. Reluctantly, Otachi visits therapist SCP-682, discussing her mental struggles. After a long session, she begins to accept the advice. That night, Otachi has a nightmare of being tied up by a pink-evolved Godzilla, who threatens her with his atomic breath. She wakes up screaming, seeking solace in Leatherback's arms. As they sleep, Otachi enters another dream, encountering Titaness Shimo, a female ice-breathing titan. Shimo reveals her role in causing an ice age and glacier meltdown, enjoying the suffering she creates. She warns Otachi that her journey is just beginning, and she cannot ignore her destiny. Otachi listens silently, arms crossed, unsure of how to respond. Shimo declares that the path is set, and the dream ends abruptly. The post-credit scene leaves Otachi contemplating her future, unsure of what lies ahead. The next day, Otachi struggles to shake off the lingering effects of her nightmare. She feels a sense of foreboding, a weight on her shoulders that she can't seem to shake. As she swims through the dark depths of the ocean, she can't help but feel like something is watching her, waiting for the right moment to strike. Suddenly, a strange rumbling catches her attention. Otachi looks around, her senses on high alert. Something doesn't feel right. As she scans the area, she spots a massive shadow approaching her from behind. Before she can react, a monstrous creature emerges from the darkness, its eyes glowing with malice. It's Titaness Shimo, the ice-breathing titan from her dreams. She has come to confront Otachi once more, to challenge her to embrace her destiny fully. Otachi's heart pounds in her chest as she prepares to face this formidable foe. The battle rages on, a clash of titanic proportions as Otachi and Shimo unleash their powers upon each other. The ocean trembles with each blow, the water churning and frothing as the two giants collide. Despite the odds stacked against her, Otachi refuses to back down. She draws strength from within, tapping into a power she never knew she had. With a mighty roar, she unleashes a powerful energy beam, engulfing Shimo in a blinding light. As the dust settles, Otachi stands victorious, her heart racing with adrenaline. She has overcome her fears and doubts, emerging stronger than ever before. With a newfound sense of purpose, she sets off into the unknown, ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead. The ocean floor is silent once more, the echoes of battle fading into the depths. Otachi's tale is far from over, but she knows now that she is capable of facing whatever comes her way. As she swims into the darkness, a sense of peace washes over her, guiding her towards a brighter future.